Mr. Sabri.
Yeah, sure. I think you're right, Derek. I think we are doubled now. I think we were 30, now we are almost 60.
Yes.
So,
yes.
The mic is with you.
I think yes. Yes, I think the numbers will continue to grow. I think within the next 5 minutes, but we can start.
Most welcome, everybody.
Okay. Okay. I hope everyone is as excited as I am about this. So without really taking up much of the time, I'll go straight into what I'd prepared as a first talk. So good evening, colleagues, and welcome to our very first session. So allow me to briefly outline how this session will be done. So the first thing that we'll do will be this same opening remarks that I'm doing right now, and then we'll have the main presentation from our speaker, Mr. Sabri, and then we'll have a question and answer session, and finally just some key takeaways, and have a closing session. So we're beginning with principle 1. Okay. It is very significant that the first principle for the global internal audit standards doesn't focus on audit techniques or to the reporting structures, but basically on the character. Integrity is the foundation of internal auditing. Without it, independence is weakened, objectivity is compromised, and we lose our credibility as internal auditors when we don't have integrity. Basically, integrity is not something we simply state in our charter. It is something we have to demonstrate consistently, especially in challenging the environments that we work in. To guide us through principle 1 of the 15 principles, we are honored to host Mr. Mohamed Sabri. We have some reaction notes just near on your screens. Feel free to utilize them. Mr. Mohamed Sabri is an internationally recognized audit, risk, and governance expert with over 25 years of experience in the government, the private sector, and in the Gulf Stream and the MENA region, basically. Mr. Sabri brings deep expertise into internal audit, enterprise risk management, SOX, IFRS, IT governance, and compliance frameworks. As an IIA mentor and professional certification instructor, he has actively supported organizations in implementing the global internal audit standards and strengthening governance frameworks across multiple jurisdictions. My dear colleagues, Mr. Sabri comes with an exceptional portfolio of global certifications, including CISA, CISM, RISK, CGEIT, PMP, CIA, CFE, CGAP, and CRIMA. He stands among the most credentialed professionals in our field and is widely respected for his commitment to advancing the profession through mentorship and high impact training. Colleagues, please join me in warmly welcoming Mr. Mohamed Sabri as we explore Principle 1, Demonstrate Integrity. Feel free to use the reactions.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, Derek.
Over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Derek. Thank you so much for the introduction. You really make it short, because I don't need to introduce myself that much, I will just share one document to show the LinkedIn profile. But at the beginning, really, I want to thank everybody who attended. It's a very good opportunity. And really, when Mr. Derek, he raised the idea to me, and that we need to discuss the 15 principles. It's really very nice. And we are doing this just to for advancing with with audit, and I'm sure many people really need to know more about the new internal audit standards. So it's a very good opportunity. What we'll do tonight is, because we have ceiling for the time, so we have like 50 minutes. So we need to utilize it very wisely. And at the same moment, we are not here to read slides. We are not here, to just repeat things that you know. I'm sure that every one of you has downloaded, the Global Internal Audit Standards 2024 in his computer, on his laptop, on his tablet, even his mobile. So everybody have it, but how many really know how to utilize it or want to utilize it, or the situation that he use to rely on the standards and to follow the standards as it should be? That's here's the catch. So we don't need to memorize it. We don't need to know it word by word or anything. No, we need first to know how it looks like overall. Then we need to know with examples how we will apply it. This is why I think the 15 sessions, and also I will be joining you for the other 14 sessions with you to watch the other instructors, and the leaders to tell us how they are implying it. So it is really a very good opportunity. So let's first quickly share. The first one is my profile. Okay, I know that Mr. Derek already discussed everything, but just here I want to show you that you can scan this. Okay, I'm expecting that you'll send me a connection request, so I'll accept it. What's going to happen is on daily basis you'll find that one of the standards is broke down. I'm giving you some advice regarding certifications, regarding something happened newly in the world. If you can check from 2 days, we spoke about one of the museums in France, there was a big collapse in the system, and they discovered after 10 years, that people were taking kickbacks and selling tickets that was sold before. I mean, you'll find everything. I have a new post, except only for the weekends, Saturday, Friday and Saturday, I don't post. But other than that, I'm always posting. So if you please, you can scan this one and send me. And I promise you, you'll find something beneficial every day. Okay, so let's get something else. Now we can share. Okay, here, this is our real start. Okay, now we need to focus with this one. This is the big picture. I always like, when we start, I don't like to take a snapshot and we dive deeply suddenly to the principle or to the standard or whatever. No, we need to know the full picture, what's going on. Before, it was in 2017, there was standards, okay, and the IPPF. Now it's not there anymore. In 2024, the IIA released the new Global Internal Audit Standards in 2024, January, and it was actually effective in January 2025. So it is like one year and 1 month, it's almost new released with 1 year, So it's a bit challenging. Not everybody is digesting it properly. Still, not everybody, is complying to it 100%. So now we need to understand that we have 5 domains. So the big picture, it is 5 domains. So it is 5 domains, and under the domains, there is principles. We have 15 principles, and under the principles, there is standards. We have 52 standards. So again, I will always tie you back to the main picture, so where are we from. I don't like people to get lost, So it's domain 1. We call it the purpose of internal auditing. Okay, this is why it's answering the question of why and what, you know. So it's the domain 1. Domain 2, this is what we are focusing today, ethics and professionalism. Domain 3, governing the internal audit function. Domain 4, managing the internal audit function. Domain 5, performing internal audit services. So again, so it is 5 domains as you see. Principle 1 is here. Principle from 1 to 5 is in the second. Principle from 6 to 8 in the third. Principle from 9 to 12 in the fourth. Principle from 13 to 15 in the fifth. And you will find the 52 standard is scattered all over the different principles. Okay, so I hope now that the big picture is clear to you. You know, it is effective since January, as I said, 2025, and now you have no way, even if you are mentioning that you are complying to it, so you have to abide exactly to all what is said in the standards. Otherwise, you have to mention that you are not abiding to the IIS standards, and you have to mention the reason why not. Okay, so let's take a quick look to the domain 2. So a small dive to domain 2, which is ethics and professionalism. As you see, we have 5 principles. Principle 1, which is our session tonight, demonstrate integrity. So this is our first part of the domain 2. Then we have principle 2. This is another session for the next Thursday. It's maintain objectivity. Then principle 3, demonstrate competency. Then principle 4, exercise due professional care. Then principle 5, maintain confidentiality. So as you see, this is the breakdown for domain 2. So domain 2, under it, 5 principles. And you can see the first principle, 3 objectives. Second principle, 3 objective. Third principle, 2 objective, then 3 objective, then 2 objective. So this is the way you deal with the standards: domain, principle, then objective. Okay, so now you understand the whole picture at the moment. Let's dive into our principle 1, which is demonstrate integrity. So now we will focus on what we have tonight. So the first point is we have 3 objectives: honesty and professional courage. 2, organization ethical expectations. 3, which is 1.3, legal and ethical behavior. Okay, so now we will leave this slide. I just wanted to show you the main picture, how it's going. That's fine. Now I have another slide to share with you. It is very important to put you also in the picture what is going on. Now I will share with you the next one. Okay, here is it. So here. Okay, where? Oh yeah, here. So now, this is a really very important slide. I made it separate. Still, we did not go to the main slides for tonight's event. So this one, I just wanted to tell you what happened, what was going in the past, and what's happening at the moment with the same thing, which is integrity. So the title is from presumed integrity to demonstrated integrity. In 2017, the IPPF, which was valid during these days, integrity was presumed. What does it mean integrity was presumed? It means compliance inferred if no ethical breached. Okay, breach occurred. Second thing, no violations or quality assurance finding equal integrity assumed. Absence of misconduct equal compliance. So as you see here, what is common in these 3? It is negative assurance. It means if nothing happens, we are fine. So that means you are not obliged to do anything to prove. No, if nothing ethical breach occurred, that means integrity was presumed. If no violations or any quality audit findings, integrity is assumed. If there is no misconduct, so you are complying, everything is fine. So all of this, the main factor for it, it's negative assurance. You did not make something positive. Let's see, on the other hand, what happened with the Global Internal Audit Standard 2024. Now, it's totally different story. Integrity must be demonstrated. What does it mean? It means requires objective evidence of conformance. You can see now, it requires objective evidence of conformance. Second, documented challenge, escalation, or resistance to pressure. Evidence of ethical action and professional courage equal compliance. That means what? Now, you need to prove that you are demonstrating integrity. So the history, that if nothing bad happened or no misconduct or no ethical breach, that means you are fine. This is not anymore. Now you need to prove it. We will go now through the slides, and that will tell you how to prove it. But you need to support yourself. You know, as auditors, anything is not documented is not existed. Okay, so if you don't have something to prove that you are demonstrating integrity, that means you are not complying. So why this matters? Because we are shifting from passive ethical compliance to what? To provable ethical leadership. Here's the catch. So we are shifting from passive to provable. So I just made a post from few days, if you will go there and check. It's really tough because, as you see, integrity is something cannot be touched. You know, it is like a conduct, you know. So the same like due professional care, confidentiality, competency, independence, objectivity, all of these things, you know, you need to prove it documentary. So it is not that easy. Sometimes it's challenging to prove it. But now we will show during our session tonight, how can we prove that we have done our homework and we are good shape with integrity, okay? So this was a very important slide. I made it myself before we jump in to our tonight session slides. So at least at the beginning, you know how many? We have 5 domains, we have 15 principle, we have 52 standards. That's the big picture. Today is principle 1, and I have under principle 1, we have 3 objectives. Okay, so now let's jump into our presentation. Our presentation here. Okay. Now, this is our main presentation. As you know, we are here not to show, you know, what is written in the standards. I don't want to make it easy. I want you to come out from tonight's session that you have something stuck in your mind. But I'm sure that the internet is full of, you know, slides and PowerPoints and stuff. But what really stuck after this 50 minutes and you go back home and you start forgetting what you learned is the examples and the real life. So it will always be easier to recall anything with examples and real life examples. This is always, even during my courses with the CIA and any other course, you know, always give examples. People never forget real examples. It always make a connection in mind, you know. So now the first slide, I wanted to make it like a compass, you know. So I wanted to point that the compass, it's like navigation, you know, true north. You know, it's unchanging point of reference. So always the true north is unchanging point of reference for internal auditors, okay? So regardless of the complexity of an audit or the pressure from management, integrity remains the constant guide to ensure that audit's function remains credible and reliable. So we know we will always face challenging during doing our missions. It means what? It means you will not find the head of departments, or you will not find the board or anybody who's really ready to take from you the report and smile and say it's fine. No, you will always find challenges. They will put obstacles in your way. They will delay the documents that you requested. Many other things, which is just, you know, to get you out of track. So here is the internal auditor's true north. It is the integrity. Okay, so the title is Ethics and Professionalism, Principle 1, Demonstrate Integrity. Okay, so again, what happens, you know, to the value of audit report if stakeholders don't trust the person who wrote it? I mean, this is the question. If you don't trust me, you know, what do I expect the value of my audit report? It doesn't have value. So you take my report because you trust me. You trust me because I'm independent, because I have integrity, because I have due professional care. I have many. This is why you trust me. Okay. So if I lost that trust, you know, so there is no point for raising any reports because nobody will believe in it. Okay. So this is why I got the first slide. It's like a compass, the true north, and as we said, the true north is not changing, point of reference. Okay. Let's jump into slide 2. Now, slide 2, we have two important points. We already discussed the first point, that we are replacing the former code. So the former code, we call it static code, but the new code, it's dynamic behavior expectations. So really, the old one, as we said, keep in mind, it was a negative assurance. I always call it negative assurance. Why? Because you don't have to prove anything. If you want to be in good shape, just don't do anything bad. That's enough. That means you are in good shape with the integrity. But now, no, not anymore. You need to prove it. This is the first important point. So if you are taking notes, the first important point, you are switching from static to dynamic. This is really very important. Second point, which is also very, very important. You can also note it if you want. It applies to everyone, not just this chief audit executive. Every auditor, every role. Okay, so that's now something new. So now the standards apply to everyone, from the chief audit executive to the entry-level auditor. Integrity is not top-down requirement. It's a universal role requirement, okay? So think about, the old, this is really, I like this example. The old code is like, a manual in a glove box, it is just sleeping there. And the new framework is actively, like the GPS, it's guiding every turn the auditor makes. So keep this in mind. The old one, you can put it in the box and forget it. But now the new one, it's your GPS. It's really telling you, go there, don't go there. This is risky. This is fine. So you use it really as a GPS guiding for every turn. Okay. So now we can go to here is the master scene of tonight's session. I want you to focus with me because really this one, it's a very important slide. Here, what's happening? Here, it's the integrity. We are showing the integrity, okay, that it's the foundation. And as you see, the objectivity, competency, due professional care, and confidentiality are over there. So as you see, integrity is sitting down, okay? So here, it's like, the solid concrete base, and the top of it, the 4 pillars. And the 4 pillars are the other 4 principles that the other instructors will lead you through the next 4 sessions. So it's maintaining objectivity, demonstrate competency, and exercise due professional care, and maintain confidentiality. This is the next 4 sessions. But as you see, the bottom, it's the what? It's the structure. It's the foundation. So let's imagine this integrity has cracks and start diminishing and start getting demolished. So you can expect the 4 pillars does not exist anymore, because the 4 pillars are standing over the integrity. So when you have a problem with the integrity, don't tell me I'm a competent auditor, or I'm doing my job, or I'm objective. I take care of my confidentiality. If you don't have the integrity, you're not there anymore. So it's really very important. If the foundation of the integrity cracks, the pillars have nothing to stand on, and the entire structure of the internal audit function collapses. Okay, so this is a really, really very, very important. It will help you also to understand the next sessions with the other instructors. But keep in mind, today's night, it's very important. Why? Because integrity is the structure. Okay, it's the foundation. So it's definition is what? Adherence to moral and ethical principles. Key requirement, honesty and professional care. So the definition is adherence to moral and ethical principles. This is the definition, okay? But the key requirement is what? Honesty and professional care. So I hope this one make it clear for you. I like always the visuals. I don't like writing too much. I like always drawing, to make things stick in mind. Integrity is down, and the other 4 principles are up. When you sum them up, the 5, you go to domain 2. So domain 2, again, I'm always trying to link you again to the big picture. Domain 2, it's 5 principles. Integrity at the bottom, and the 4 pillars, that makes 5. So this is the 5 principle under domain 2, ethics and professionalism, okay? So let's jump into the next. Okay, now this one is also very important. Now we will go straight to standard 1.1, okay? So we are under domain 2, principle 1, demonstrate integrity, and then we are talking about the first standard is 1.1, honesty and professional courage. Okay. The requirement, they are saying you need to be truth, accurate, clear, open, respectful. Don't conceal or omit findings, disclose all material facts. So the definition of courage, communicating truthfully and taking action even when confronted by dilemmas, difficult situation, or personal cost. So what are we talking about here? So honestly, it is not just about not lying. No, it is about being truthful, accurate, clear, open, respectful. Okay? It explicitly forbids concealing or omitting findings. You must disclose all material facts. This is very, very, very important, and we will discuss it with the next slide with an example. Okay? So again, I need to hammer this again. So it explicitly forbids concealing or omitting findings. You must, and be aware of must, okay, compulsory. Disclose all material facts, all, not some, all. Okay, now, this is a critical addition to the standards, because courage means communicating truthfully and taking action, even faced with dilemmas, difficult situation, or personal cost. All of this, the next page example, it will show everything in a very easy way, okay? But again, if you can see the truth bigger than comfort. So this visual, I meant it to show it, the truth bigger than comfort. Because an auditor job is not to make people comfortable. No, it's to tell you the truth. So again, we can recall what Steve Jobs said, you know, you can't make everybody happy. I mean, if you want to make everybody happy, don't be a leader. Just go and sell ice cream, you know. So this is the case. If you need everybody to be happy, auditor is not your place. If you are kind of soft person, you need a middle ground. Maybe during the old standards in 2017, maybe there is some situation can help you. But now it's not anymore. It's not anymore. Because before in 2017, it was something good, something beneficial, something plus to do these things. Now, not anymore. Not anymore. If you don't abide to this, you are not applying the 2024 GIES standards. Okay? So again, what is the definition of courage? Communicating truthfully and taking action, even when confronted with dilemmas, difficult situation, or personal cost. Okay? So it's clear. Let's now stick it with an example. What's happening here in the scenario? We call it the omitted finding. The dilemma, you find a significant error made by a close friend. It was accidental. They beg you to fix off the books, to save their promotion. The question, does this being respectful mean protecting a colleague? So now, this is really a very important point. And I am sure that everyone is facing one of this during his field work. You know, you find that there is some friends, you know, in some of the departments. You were in this department since 2 years before, but now you're in the internal audit. So now he came to you and he said, please, I know it is error, and I 100% agree with what you are saying, but please, I'm expecting a promotion very soon. So this will make everything hard for me. So what you do is, please, we will fix it off the books, okay? And just you neglect that you saw anything, you know? So now here is the question, you know? What you will do, you know? It's really tough, you know, because what do you want me to do? To omit the finding? You know, it's really challenging. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the resolution, what we'll do? Again, we will recall truth is bigger than comfort. So what is the verdict? Disclose all facts. Simple, in a nutshell. Nothing, no negotiations. Disclose all facts. And I will give you just a quick example, which has happened from 2 or 3 years, actually, life example. We were doing an assurance of one of the departments, and really the department was really in a very bad situation. We were, the reports, you know, it was, I think, less than 100 pages with slightly, you know, because we wrote about everything, you know, the system was down, and it was needing to be built upside down, So when we met to the head of the department, and we start discussing with him the draft, and he said, Mohammed, if this reached the board or to the management, I'll be sacked tomorrow morning. So please, at the same time, I can't say no to what you said in your report, or even I cannot admit it. I admit that we have a problem with the system, we have a problem with segregation, we have a problem with rotation of some jobs, we have all of this, but not in this way. So please do something. Exactly what we are saying now in this slide happened lifetime, So I sat with the team. I said to them, listen, we will not touch anything technically, nothing, everything will be the same, but we can just fix the language. We can squeeze the areas that there is redundancy, we can squeeze the areas that we are just striking again for some repeated word. So we can make it less pages, but technically 100% it's the same. We will not dilute any language, we will not do, no. But just the way we highlight it, the way we communicate it, this is just to show him that we are also cooperating. The man was happy at the end of the day. The report was issued, and believe it or not, it was sent and approved by the top management, and he offered a plan of 1.5 years, and he make some co-source with one of the big four to give him some help. And now it's going very, very fine, one of the top performers. But during showing him the draft, and it was really almost 100 pages, and the guy really, he was shocked. And he said, Mohammed, I'll be sacked tomorrow morning, so do something. So exactly this is the dilemma. So here in this case, if you feel softened, or you feel that, that you need to change something, or let's remove 5 or 6 observations, maybe you can put it in the next report, you are in big troubles, because you are now omission. So, now number one is omission is a violation. So if you omitted anything, or you postponed it or whatever, this is a violation. Hiding the error violates the rule against concealing findings. It's clear. Second, courage. Reporting the error despite the personal cost to the friendship. 3, respect. You can be respectful in tone without suppressing the truth. So integrity is doing the right thing when no one is watching. Okay? So again, integrity, you will not see it in the nice situation when everybody is happy and no, you will see it always when it's overheating. And I'll give you another example. Sometimes, as auditors, I'm sure it's in Zambia, in Qatar, in everywhere, you will find some of the managers that it's well known that he has a high voice and he's very aggressive, and he's maybe, a big friend to the top management, and playing games with him, it might hurt you, So now it's your call. So when you go in for the introduction meeting or for the exit meeting, discussing your report, now he starts shouting and he starts saying, this is not true, from where you got this observation, I don't accept it. And he starts, and the junior team members start, shaking, and they are not sure, what to do, because the guy, is a high rank. Here is the point. Here is the integrity. Okay. So now you need to show your professional integrity. So either you're being affected of the high voice, or being afraid of your position, or maybe you are reporting about the HR manager, and at the same time you are waiting for being promoted. Now what I will do when I follow up with him for my promotion, while I wrote this report, shall I make it a little bit easier till I pass this promotion, then we can go back and issue the report. All of these dilemmas, there is no omission. It's a violation at the moment. You can't, because you are concealing finding at the moment. So this is not option anymore. Okay. So this is now standard 1.1, which is honesty and professional courage. Now, let's jump into standard 1.2, ethical expectations. So what is ethical expectations? Auditors must meet and contribute to the organization ethical expectations. So 3 things needed from you. Promote. Be the ambassador for the culture. Identify. Spot conduct contrary to values. Report. Speak up when culture is breached. So this is what makes you unique as an auditor, that you have to speak, even some others, they don't care or whatever. If there is a breach, no, it's you are the ambassador, and you need to always prove that you are abiding to the bylaws inside your company, to the standards that you have. So always show that you are a guy that everybody should follow him, you know. So again and again, you need to act as an ambassador. I like this terminology, you know, you act as an ambassador for the organization culture and values, okay? And also, you actually spot conduct that's contrary. If you see anything wrong on your way, and this really happens to me, I'll just give you a quick example. Happened to me since 1 week, you know, in our parking area for our work, you know, everybody has his own card that you need to scan it for the parking to open, you know, for the barrier to get open, and then you can pass. And then I found that the security guys found there's a big queue because one visitor, he's standing in the employee section, and he doesn't have a card, and he wants to go in, you know. So what he did, the security guy, because he saw that, you know, there is a big queue at the moment, you know, and there is a big problem, so he just scanned with his card for this stranger, and he let him in. So the next car and the next can scan their cards and let in. So I parked and came back to him as an auditor. I came back to him. I told him, listen, we did not do this system, you know, and the cards and the barrier and the servers and all of this for you just to break it with your card. Your card is there for emergency, not to help a stranger to get in because you see there is a congestion at the back, so you need to make his life easier. Who was he? Where is he going? What is he doing? You don't know. You just need to solve the problem. So you broke the whole system, okay? So here, I spot a conduct contrary to the values. I speak when the culture is breached. So but on the other hand, everybody was getting inside with his car. Everybody is busy thinking about what he will do in his office. But to me, it was something else because I see one of the controls was breached, you know, because now a stranger inside the place, we don't know in which department he's going. What is he doing in the parking of the employees? We don't know. But just with a mistake with the security guard, the guy has access, while we did our best to stop access only to the authorized people, you see? So this is one of the things that we need to spot. Again, very good example, and I need you to focus with me in this example, because the dilemma here is very heated. The rush job. The situation, a sales director bypass mandatory procurement rules to close a massive deal before quarter end. The CEO thrilled with the revenue. Now the friction. I did not steal the sales director. He's just debating. I did not steal anything. I just cut through bureaucracy to win. Now the question to you as an auditor, if the CEO approves, are you helping the company by looking the other way, or what are you going to do? So let's speak about this scenario because you will face it. And now I will tell you where is the problem. The problem is the sales director is doing our best to make more sales so we can inject more money and the cash flow looks better and we can pay our salaries at the time, and even we can receive bonuses because the performance is as promised. So everything is going fine. But the only thing was happening is that there was bypassing a mandatory procurement rule. There is one of the rules. Let's say you need to get 3 offers. Let's say you have, if it's over 1 million, no, it's need to be a bid, you know, a big bid, and you make disclose in the newspaper that I'm bidding, so and so and so. So please drop your technical and your financial proposals and so on and so forth. But because it's a very big deal and he want to make a good sale, so he bypassed one of the mandatory procurement rules, you know. So now the question. What makes it more harder for you as an auditor that the CEO is thrilled with the revenue. So the CEO is not interested really that he bypassed one of the mandatory procurement rules, and he's just focusing, wow, you know, it's this amount of dollars, this is amount of net profit, this amount of cash injection, we are in good position with the board. This is all what they are focusing. But for you as an auditor, as we said in the last slide, as an ambassador, okay, I'll just go to the last slide when we said that be the ambassador for the culture. So now the question is, are you going to support the CEO who approved and the sales director who bypassed the procurement? Because they might tell you also, on the other hand, you should be happy because you are also getting something from the cake. If you are waiting for promotion, you'll be promoted, your salary will be on time, you maybe get bonuses because the performance is going very fine. But now the question, you know, are you going to follow them with the sales director who bypassed it to make the deal, or with the CEO who approved it? And now it's your step. Let's see what's happened in the next slide. So the verdict, report the inconsistency. Nothing rather than that. So now expectations are documented. Sorry, exceptions are documented. Ethics are found in policy, not just in the CEO mood. This is really, really very important. So ethics are found in the policy, not just in the CEO's mood. Another point, the risk bypassing controls for revenue set a precedent that rules don't apply to winners. This is really very, very important. And we need to talk about this one also. Your role, validate that policies apply to everyone, regardless of rank. So I don't care. You are the sales director. He's the CEO. He's whatever. Rules are rules. Rules are put to follow. If you feel that rules are outdated or putting obstacle in the way to the company to make profit or something, go and adjust it. Make your own concerns and show it up. It needs to be because it's not helping us. We need to fix it. We are the one who's putting the rules, especially you are not working in the government. It's very fine. So the company itself will put these rules, complain and fix it. But always bypassing it, there is a problem because the internal and external auditors will not let you do that. So again, ethics are found in a formal policy, not in the CEO's mood. Here's the risk, and I want you to be very attention to me with that. Bypassing controls for revenues sets a dangerous precedent. Rules don't apply to winners. That destroys the internal control environment. Because what? So now I'm telling to the people who are applying the rules and respecting the rules and not getting the objective. So there is a back door. You can do it because only winners can do that, you know. So you are giving a clap for the guy who's not applying the rules and breaking it. At the same time, he's doing and he's getting sales. That's the problem. No, you need to show that this is illegal and this is not the right way. You can do the profit, you can do the sales through applying the rules. And even you want to make an exception, there is a track for exceptions. Let's say in the government, let's give you an example. If you need to go for a direct award instead of going to a bid, there's certain criteria you need to make sure it happened that give you the situation which you can go with direct award. For example, the guy you are buying from him, he's solo. You know, nobody else in the whole country in Zambia, he's selling this, let's say, laptops. He's the only guy who is developing it, the guy who's manufacturing this car or whatever. And he has a certificate that in Zambia, nobody else is doing this business. So at this case, go for direct award. Why should I waste my time and go for bidding if I know that there is nobody in the country is doing this? So I am supported with going with direct award. But what if there is like 10 companies competing in the market while you are going with a direct award? What was the purpose? I don't know. Now it's dilemma. He's your friend. You're getting kickbacks. I don't know. So at this stage, you need to be very strict and validate that the policies apply to everyone, regardless of the rank. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Okay. Now, standard 1.3, which is legal ethical behavior. So again, to put things again up, we are in domain 2. We said it's 5 principles. Okay, we are in principle 1, demonstrate integrity. Okay, and we have 3 standards under it: 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. We finished 1.1, honesty and professional courage. We finished 1.2, organization ethical expectations. Now we are with 3, legal and ethical behavior. So as you see down, don't cross. So it's like, you know, a scene with the police. You don't have to cross. Let's see what's the problem with this one. The rule: don't engage in illegal acts or acts discreditable to the profession. This is to you as an auditor. You have to be very careful. What's the problem here? And I want you to be very careful. The next 4 points are meant by word. I mean, they do not give example. They are telling you what is considered as a discreditable act. Because in the last standards, no, this was not the case. Now they are telling you, and they make the threshold higher, and the level now is higher. There's many things that were, it's okay before, now it's not okay anymore. Let's give an example. The first example is bullying, harassment, and discrimination, lying or deceiving, misrepresenting competency or qualifications, soliciting or disclosing confidential info. So this 4, you need to be very careful as an auditor that you need to keep a distance from them. Okay, so you might not engage in illegal acts or any act that is discreditable to the profession. And as I'm telling you now, believe it or not, before there was no bullying, there was no harassment, there was no discrimination, but now it's there and meant, So again, that, let's say, bullying or harassment are now explicitly tied to the auditor's professional standing. You cannot be an integrity-driven auditor if you are a bully in the office. Believe it or not, you are a very good auditor. You are excellent. I mean, from the technical perspective, but you are, doing something in the office that you want to be funny or whatever. No, you have a problem here now with the standards, and you are not applying the standard 1.3 legal and ethical behavior. So you need to be careful. As you see now, it will be more easier when you check with me the next slide. But again and again, I want you to understand now the level is much higher than the 2017. Bullying, harassment, discrimination, lying, deceiving, misrepresentation, soliciting or disclosing confidential info. Now it's very sensitive. So as an auditor, you need to know that you have a frame. You can't go out of it. Okay. This scenario will make it very clear. And honestly, I faced this in the last year for more than 5 or 6 times. What happened here? An auditor applies for a promotion. They have passed 2 of 3 CIA exam parts. A bluff. They list CIA certified on their resume, assuming that they will pass the final part next week. The question, is this a lie or just optimistic thinking? Does it harm anyone? So as you see here, it's a big, big problem. And most of the people, I made them in interviews. Since 2 or 3 months, I was doing some interviews for internal auditors. And believe me, I always give them the advice. I always like, you close the door and advise people, and instead of telling in front of everyone, you're putting him in bad situation. Some people do it in a bad manner, some do it in good faith or bad faith, but at the end of the day, it's wrong. So some people, they are very optimistic, like our friend here in this case. I mean, he's going for the exam for the next week, which is the 3rd part, and he feels he's very confident to pass, but now he's applying for a promotion. So maybe one of the rules for promotion that you need to be certified. If you are not certified, like in the Big 4 or something, if you need to be a senior more than manager or something, you need to get certified CIA or anything, otherwise you get stuck with maximum the manager, So now you need to say that I'm certified. But unfortunately, you still have part 3 not yet done, but you feel confident and the exam is next week. So let's say I'm already certified. Why? Because I know till they finish the work paper and everything, so I will get my certificate. So I will tell them now I'm already there. He's not presuming anyway that he might fail or something that happened, or even they can compare the dates that he confirmed that he's certified, while another dates after 1 month or something he's certified. So there's different dates. So here is the dilemma. It is really challenging. So people comes to me, or even in the LinkedIn or anywhere, I find he's writing CIA. Okay, that's fine. Then between brackets, part 1. No. This is not allowed. This is not acceptable. It's black or white. There is no gray. It's either you are certified or not certified, because you still need to know that certification is not only passing the exam. You need to abide to the experience level. You need till you receive the certification in your hand. You are not certified yet. So even you pass the 3 parts, you still need to show other criteria to get you at the end that you are certified and you have your serial number, you can show it and you can use it. But here, when I meet in the interviews, and there was one was really very, very, very funny. This guy was, I don't know, but I always take it in good faith. I don't want to talk about the bad faith. The guy, he came and I was interviewing him. You are writing CIA. This is why the HR, recommended. I always ask him, I need the best 10 CVs. I don't have time to meet for like 50 or something. So got me the top 10 with the criteria that I mentioned in my requirements. So this guy is one of the 10. So I told him, you are saying that you are certified and so on. And so I always, one of the things I do, I always like to study the people that I will meet. As a matter of respect, I can't go and meet you one of the interviews, and I can't study your CV first. So I go and check your CV. I go and check your serial number in the IIA, the directory, to make sure that you are valid, everything is fine, the experience, and so on and so forth. So this guy, I didn't find him. So I said, sir, I mean, when did you certify? He said, no, I was not certified. I said, so what you are writing? He said, no, I meant that I took the course. I took the course for the certification with one of the course reviews, and I did not even apply for the exam, so it's just the course. But inshallah, very soon I will be planning to go for the exam. Can you believe it? So he was picked because he wrote that he's CIA, but when I drilled it down with him, he just took the course, So now the question is, even you bypassed the filtering, and now you are meeting me. What do you think that I will accept to hire you while you are lying in your documents? Do you accept that I can depend on you and your integrity is questioned? Your integrity is questioned. You wrote something that totally far from the truth. So what about writing reports? What about writing facts? So from the very first moment you breached, you have no integrity. You need to be very careful. It's not in good or bad faith. It's not the matter you understand or not. So please stop writing CIA part 1, CIA part 2. This doesn't make any sense. It's there. It's CIA or no CIA. So there is no middle ground. So now let's see the resolution here. The verdict: violation of standard 1.3. Misrepresentation claiming a credential you don't hold is a deception. You see, it's a deception. Discreditable. If you lie about your resume, okay, why wouldn't you lie about an audit finding? The integrity demands accuracy in all professional representations. Okay, so as I told you, your integrity is questioned. You are not trusted anymore. Since when? Since your resume. So you failed in the very, very, very first exam. So how can you join my team while I don't trust you from the first moment? Sometimes they start to make to convince that I have exemption for part 1, but part 2. And so, do you have a CIA? No, you don't. So please don't mention that certification if you don't. So let's go here. This is a really good one. As you see, the Chief Audit Executive specific burden. I meant here to make the CAE, the Chief Audit Executive, he's the lighthouse, okay? And it's very dark, as you see, and he's getting the lights for the small boats, the audit stuff. So we need to make sure that you are supported, okay? And by your Chief Audit Executive. Why? I will tell you now. The CAE must maintain a work environment where auditors feel safe, expressive unfavorable results. So I want you as a senior or junior or shadow or intern or whatever, you feel safe. Somebody is at your back. So when you go for a discussion, on a weekly meeting with the audit manager or something, he's telling you what's up, what's happening in the field, and you start sharing with him ideas, and he's starting, no, I don't like that, I will speak to your manager and so on. When he goes to your manager, your manager will start saying, okay, let's talk quietly, let's check if his observation is supported properly, if he has a working papers, if he has the rules, if he has everything, what can I do for you? So you can see, he was thinking that shaking you and telling you that he's going back to your manager and then you will take something back or be afraid or whatever. No, you tell him, please, you can pick up the phone and talk to my manager. I have no problem at all. I'm doing my work and he's reviewing my work as a senior. I have no problem. So I did this because I'm sure I am backed with my management, I'm sure that they will defend my right work. I'm doing my homework properly. We are not afraid of loud voice. We are not afraid of being, confronted with the auditees. So why this matters? Individual courage is impossible in a culture of fear. So let's say you feel that your manager is weak and his personality, he's kind of guy, he doesn't like, the confrontations, and he doesn't like, being, in this heating situations, he doesn't know how to handle it. So you'll start saying, I will be in troubles because nobody will defending me, So if I raise this observation and I know this auditing manager, he will start shouting and he will start, and I have nobody supporting me since the last time, so I'm just hurting myself. So here is the role of the CE must be the shield against political backlash. And believe me, this is happening with my team every day and every moment. Many times they got, like scope limitation. He come back to me. They don't want to show me this. I pick up the phone. I call the manager on the other hand. Please, we have a mandate. I will share it with you. If you don't abide, I will raise it to the board. And then after reviewing it with half an hour, he said everything is fine. Let the team come back and everything is okay. So if they don't feel supported and there is somebody who's offering for them the environment that they are not afraid, that's the problem. So as you see, I made it here as he is the lighthouse, and there is a dark in sometimes in some of the assignments, and the other stuff are the boats. You need to make it safe for them. Okay, this is your role as chief audit executive. Otherwise, you should not be in this position if you don't know how to handle situations, especially in audit. In audit, you need to have a character. You need to know how to deal with a tough situation. Okay, so now we go. This is the most important one. That now, how can we make the evidence of conformance? Because everybody is asking, how can we prove that we are demonstrating integrity? How? We have, first one is ethics training records. So I show that I got my team one of the trainings. So, like training for the standards, for the code of conduct, for whatever, but I always write it down and document it, that we attended this course from 1 to 1 and where, and we got certification and so on, and everything is documented. So I show that my team is well trained and they know all the standards and they are fully aware of it. So this is the first proof. Second proof is signed conflict of interest form. It's very, very important, signing, on yearly basis, we do that in the department. Everybody is signing a conflict of interest form. So if there is any time, some of your relatives or whatever in any department or in any assignment you are going to, you need to raise your hand. I have a conflict of interest here. One of my relatives is there. If you can switch me something else, or I can decide as a chief audit executive, no, you can go. I'm sure things will be fine. I'll be following up because I don't have enough people. So at least you need to sign a conflict of interest as a second evidence. The third one I see a bit challenging. To be honest, from practical point of view, stakeholder feedback on courage. Here you are distributing a survey to the auditee after you finish your assignment, and I'm sure they are not really happy to see you again. And when you send the survey, I don't think most of the time that they are happy to share with you that something positive. Sometimes, but sometimes really you got a very good surveys. That the auditors were very high quality. They were abiding to the rules. The timing was very fine. Their code of conduct was very good. So you got some positive feedbacks. But you need also, one of the things is you got a stakeholder feedback on the courage. Okay, so he needs to prove it from his side. The last one is records of disclosure. Okay, so it's the same, documenting when issues were raised and how and they were handled. So, you find something, and you raised it, and it was raised to the board, and the board took action. So you need to keep all of this in records. So to wrap up this one, there is 4 ways to prove it: ethics training records, signed conflict of interest form, stakeholder feedback on courage, and records of disclosures. So the record of disclosures, as we said, again, it's documented when issues were raised and how they were handled. Okay, let's go to our last slide. So here, it's the integrity loop. It's a very nice one. So I want to say integrity isn't a single event. It's a loop. Honesty, bravery, it's feed into the culture. So as you see here, the honesty and bravery is being fed to the culture, which is supported by what? By laws and boundaries. Together, all of these 3, then we have the trust. Okay, so internal auditors are the guardians of trust within an organization. Okay, integrity is not just what you do when the auditor is watching. It is what you do because you are the auditor. So really, this is a very important message. So you need always to make sure that you are not doing the right thing, not because somebody is watching you or being somebody is taking care of what your actions. No, you are doing the right because you are following the rules, and you are an auditors, so you have your own standards and you are following it. Okay, so this is the whole thing for tonight. I wanted just really to make it easy. I need now to wrap up the whole session again quickly. As we said, we are in domain 2. We have 5 domains. We are in domain 2, okay, which we call it ethics and professionalism. We have 5 principles under it. 1, demonstrate integrity, maintain objectivity, demonstrate competency, exercise due professional care, maintain confidentiality. So these are the 5 principles which we are using. Only 1 principle tonight is demonstrate integrity. The other 4 will be coming the next weeks, but we're still under domain 2. So now we will focus on demonstrate integrity. We have 3 standards under it. The first one is honesty and professional courage. Second one, organization ethical expectations. Last one is legal and ethical behavior. So they have these 3 standards under it. Okay. So now this is everything at the moment. So I can now just share with you what's going in. Okay. So Derek, the mic is with you. So now, I really hope that we made it easy for you. I'm sure it's a dry area. It is not an area with many examples or something. Like the next areas when you go for the strategy and for the plan and for for the field work and for the governments and for all of these things, you will have more rich stuff. But today I do my best, just to make it as supported as much as I can. And now we are really open to get a question from you.
Thank you, Mr. Sabri. That was a very, very insightful presentation.
Thank you so much.
Colleagues, we'll now move into the question and answer session. We have Mr. Sabri. Feel free to raise your hands and ask your questions. The first one that I've seen is I've seen Martha Kapila. You can go ahead, Martha, and ask your question.
If she can't speak, she can write it, no problem, and you can read it, Derek. I mean, it's easy. If anybody, it doesn't have a mic or something, he has a problem, he can just write it and we can discuss it, Also, I just observed now it's 10:39, it's 9:39 with your time. I'm sorry, the deal was, 1 hour. I know, but really, I did my best just to squeeze everything, with examples. I need it to be, easy. So I know that I exceeded the 50 minutes, the deal, but we will try to take some questions and we'll wrap it up.
Yes, definitely, Mr. Sabri. So, colleagues, we can take some questions. I think
any questions? If you have questions related even to the certification, to something, yes, the dilemma in work, I mean, I'm open. I have no problems at all, and even I can arrange another meeting with Derek, even something away from the 15 sessions. You can prepare questions regarding the CIA, the CISA. If you need to be in a higher rank, you need to ask what should I do to improve myself. Because I'm also an IIA mentor. I have colleagues from Sierra Leone. I have others from every coast, So I have and many other. I'm just leading them. I'm trying to make them a better auditors. One of them now, he's ready for part 2 and almost I think he will be passing it. So really, this is really adding value. So away from this session, because I know the time is very limited, you can arrange with Derek. I'm really very open, It's just a matter of support for the community. As you know, this is not a business-wise. It is just a matter of support to the auditors in Zambia or worldwide. I have no problem at all. And you can get all the questions, something to the exams, to how you study, I have no issues at all. Just prepare it, and I will sit with Derek, and we can make another one in any time that suits you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sabri. So, and that's a message also be communicated in the group, so that you can send your questions to me, and we can agree on a meeting date with Mr. Sabri.
Exactly.
Moses, you can ask your question.
Sure.
Hello, am I audible? Thank you for this opportunity. Am I audible? Okay. Mr. Sabri, this is an experience that recently actually had encountered. I've been acting on a position of manager internal audit, which is the highest position in the organization I'm working. And I've acted for more than 6 months. During this my acting, I've raised objective issues, but they had impact on directors, and some of them were not happy about it. The reports that have been presenting before the Audit and Risk Committee, they've expressed their satisfaction with my performance and the quality of the reports that have been presenting during these meetings. However, management decided to advertise the position internally, which I felt not appreciated for the work that I've been doing. I expected some consideration for promotion, so that hasn't happened. And one of the big issues that has injured some of the directors, the executive director hasn't made a decision over that issue, and it has made me to go through some confrontation somehow through these directors. And because of these things, I thought I exercised objectivity and also courage, and I feel not supported by the ED, so I've decided to resign. Now that issue will still remain pending. So at the point of me resigning, am I supposed to share that audit query to the Audit and Risk Committee? Because initially I just raised it internally, hoping that it will be resolved. Now at the time of separation, do I have to share it with them, or what would you advise? And would you recommend that the decision I've made is a right decision? Thank you.
Okay, Moses, very clear. Really, I'm upset a little bit that you resigned already, you know, because now it's too late to say anything, you know, it's already happened. I always like, you know, I know there is some situation, it's tough, and because I'm not in your shoes at the moment, so I can't really decide. I'm not fully aware of what really sort of obstacles, and but it seems that they were not so cooperative, even though you were applying your work and you were doing it in a good manner with the standards. But still, I don't understand the problem was like games inside the board, or, you know, it's being effective of the CEO or the CFO or whatever, you know, they have some relations inside. I'm not sure where is exactly the problem, but as an auditor, you always need to feel the respect from the board. You know, you need to feel that they trust you. Your work is open. You know, because they are, I mean, the audit committee is the arm of the board, and you are appointed by the board. You know, so they should be the people who are picking you. You know, so I know that you did the courage. You did the professional that you did it, but was this the only solution? I mean, did you try all the solution instead of resigning, you know? Or maybe they were pushing you to this situation and they were happy because they have somebody else in their mind, and they were just squeezing you to this corner to reach this conclusion, to come from your side, you know, and now everybody is happy. So this is, I wrote a post before, and you can check it in my LinkedIn. I think it was like 1 month before. There is some red flags that I wrote, like 10 red flags you need to check. If one or two of this happening with you, you need to take care. And 1 or 2 of them is what you're saying. If sometimes, you know, you need to sit alone with the board, because sometimes you'll find the CEO is there, the CFO is there, whatever is there, you know, but sometimes you need to speak alone. You need to speak freely, because what you are speaking about is sitting on the same table. So they tell him, thank you, we listened from you, now we can go out of the room, we will sit with the chief audit executive, and we need to discuss openly with him about his idea. Is this happening or no? Also, you always need to have a chair, you know, in most of the important events that happening in your company. I mean, there is a new system, there is a new introduction, something for a new policy, or you need always secure a seat. One of the red flags, they don't call you, you know, you're not important, you know. Also, whether you are being supported, and when there is a debate and somebody is, you are going to follow up your report with him, and you find that it was due in 6 months, but now it's like you're going to follow up and there is nothing move, and you made an escalation, but he did not support you, you know. I mean, at this stage, what is the problem? The problem is you, there's no trust in you, or what is the problem? Because you are doing your work. So you need to be very clear with them and sit. But you know, you said that you sat with them, you know, and you were not being supported. But as I'm telling you, you need to go step back 2 or 3 weeks or months, you know, to see what was the relationship with the reports you're doing. When you ask for meetings, when you ask that you meet them alone, so all of this is not one day. The crack is happening and it's deepening, you know. So you need to be very careful with the red flags while it's happening at the beginning. Don't wait till it collapses and now you are resigning, you know. And now even you have a dilemma, you know, that what I will do now with. But again, to the last point that you mentioned, you totally, but again, I always support the people, please take the evidence with you. I mean, get all the evidence, support your situation, that any day, even after you left, you've been requested by, you know, external, something in the government, whatever, you need to mention that you sat with them, you showed with them the problem. This is this is what the response. Don't take anything orally. Don't take anything in the meeting. Yes, we told you we have no problem. It's acceptable. You can go safely. No, nothing. You need these minutes of meeting to be documented. You need to keep it. You need to keep all what they told you and the rejection to the reports. You need to set, if they refuse to meet you or whatever, everything documented, you know. And even you left it behind, not resolved, no problem. You will not stay there forever till they resolve it, you know. Maybe they have other intention. You stop whenever you raised it there. This is your maximum escalation, you know. You can't go any further. They are the board, you know. So but as I'm telling you, you need to support yourself with evidence. Don't leave without evidence. Even the minutes of meeting, make sure that what was discussed is really written. Sometimes when they write the minutes of meetings, things is being omitted, things being changed. Review everyone what he said. And don't sign for the attendance without making sure that everything is the same. Some tricks is happening in this sort of meetings. So I'm a member of many committees. They got me the draft and I return it back more than 4 times. And sometimes they hate me in many committees. I said, Mohamed, this is wasting time. I said, no, it's not wasting time. This is not what we agreed. The one word is different because it will be approved. You know, this committee take decisions and it's approved. So saying one word on somebody's behalf, it's very critical. So nobody said this, it's being said but in different language. We did not say all, we said some. So being precise is very important. So again, for your question, the lessons learned for you and for the others, be aware of the red flags. You will not be resigned or being sacked in one day. It will be something happening since 2 or 3, 6 months, whatever. You are not they are not inviting you for certain meetings. You are not welcome in some, you know, top management introduction for new systems. So take care of these things. Why I'm not getting a copy of this? Why my reports are being neglected? Why I'm not having enough time with the board? Being careful. Don't wait for the ship till it collapsed and saying, you know, I'm sinking. No. So I will share it with you, and I saw also some people writing about sharing. Sure, with Derek, I will give him everything, you know, the slides and the slides. Also the general internal audit standards. I made a very good one. I will share it for free. You know, I used it for my own courses, but I will share it with you. It is just a breakdown. Always, when somebody, even with the next sessions, always put this map with you. You know, where are you now? So the next instructor is coming to domain 2, principle 2, objective 1. So always track and highlight which one we are in. Always know where are you from it, you know. So again, Moses, I'm sorry, you know, for the resignation, but as I'm telling you, just make sure that everything is documented. You can leave safely, no problem. You can't debate anymore. That's the top ceiling for you. But as I'm telling you, leave safely with documentation and don't get rid of it. As far as you're still working, keep it with you safely. Anytime you'll be requested, at least for 3 years or something, you keep it safely till you find that everything is not requested again. Derek, we can take another.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sabri. We have another question.
Before we take a question, just something
Grace
slipped my mind, Derek. We will take the question, but please, this is to everybody. Don't think it's easy. It's the easiest thing that I'm quitting, because don't think that you will find somewhere that is welcoming you and giving you hugs and flowers. It's very tough. It's very challenging. You will run from a board that is not interested. You will find some other people. Life is not nice. This is how it works. So don't listen to whatever you see in the LinkedIn or in the post, you know, that, you know, I've been promoted, I'm so and so and so. And when you feel it's a toxic environment, just leave and respect yourself. And this doesn't work. This is nonsense. This is nonsense. Okay. We have families, we have payments, we have obligations. Okay. This doesn't work. Sometimes the guy who's giving you the hard time, maybe he's going to leave. Okay. You need to be patient sometime. Sometimes maybe you are taking it personally. Maybe he's not that bad. Maybe he's just thinking in a different mindset than yours. But you think that he is not following what you think. But with the time, you know, and he sees that you are doing a good work, it's good, you know. So it's really, don't listen to tell you when you find the signs, leave. What leave? Leave where? You know, as far as you don't have another boat ready with a contract signed and approved, okay, don't go. Don't leave. You know, don't do it, because you don't know when you leave, you are not securing another job. Maybe you sit at home for 1 year and it's a negative impact on you, on your resume, that you didn't find work that's, you know, affecting your quality. The other thing is, why are you expecting that you will go somewhere else, you will find angels at the other hand, you know? So please, I give back to Derek, but I find it many people, they come back to me, Mohamed, do you find jobs for us in Qatar or something? Because we left. Why did you leave? Oh, no, the manager is toxic, you know, he's giving me a hard time, and every time I give reports, he's not happy. Forget it. The manager might leave, you know. But the only time you should start thinking of leaving, it's not the manager or the toxic or whatever. It is that you are not learning, you are not improving, you are not getting a value related really to what you are giving. This is the time you need to think. But also, you still keep your shoes in this boat till you start searching the market, meeting and getting and finding. You find something else, tell them thank you in ethical way. Don't say that because you find another offer, you slap the door, I don't care anymore. No. You don't know that maybe you need one day, you come back, you need one document from them, you need something. Don't burn the bridges that you might need to go back and use it. Okay? So be careful. I'm telling you from experience, so please. The only time that make you really think about leaving is you are not learning, you are not even getting promoted, you are not getting well training, you feel that your value is downgrading with the market. This is the things. Toxic environment, hard times, hard days, too much work. Don't expect that you will find everything nice in all environments. This is worldwide. Okay? Sorry, Derek, for cutting you again.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sabri. Thank you so much. That was very, 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 very insightful. And I'll just read another question that has come through from Grace Mukumbi. So it reads, "Good evening. My name is Grace Mukumbi. I recently completed my degree in accounting and finance, and I'm considering a career in internal audit. From my understanding, especially at entry level, I would be working under senior auditors or management. In a situation where the person I report to may not demonstrate strong integrity, how should a young auditor navigate that while still upholding professional standards and protecting their career?
Okay, Derek, if you can just brief it for me. I mean, he is leaving the accounting, going to the internal audit. Is that right? This is what I got. He's leaving the accounting, going to the internal audit?
No, she's a recent graduate who recently graduated, and she wants to go into internal audit.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
And then what is the problem? Okay, so now she is a fresh graduate and need to join the internal audit department. Where is the dilemma?
Okay, so the question was, in a situation where the person that should be reporting to, that is in the internal audit department, may not demonstrate strong integrity, how should she navigate that while still upholding professional standards on her end and protecting her career?
Okay, so at the beginning, it's fine, but my recommendation always, I mean, I always like to start from the kitchen, I mean, the kitchen, I always call it the kitchen. I use this terminology because, I'm a kind of man, I always deal with my team, with this terminology. I don't like being very senior, and no, the kitchen, I mean, is you should know, you make sure that you know very well the accounting and you know very well the procurement, very well the HR. You need to know many things first, even not deeply, but you need to be fully aware, okay? So what I meant is, if you are going direct from the college to the internal audit, that means you did not work as an accountant, you did not work with books, you don't work with financial statements, you don't work with the procurement, so you are jumping directly to audit people that you will not in their shoes one day. Okay, it is possible, but it's challenging. It will take more time. Still, if you have a chance, I can send you, if you are coming to me, and this has really happened since 1 year, one shadow girl, she came to me and she said, I want to join. I said, I have no problem at all. She's a citizen, and we always need to employ citizens, just as a matter of helping the young adults, to find jobs and whatever. I said, it's fine. I'm not trying to get rid of you or something, but believe me, go 6 months. I will make a rotation for you. I'll send you to the treasury 1 month, to the payroll, to the accounting, to the ledger, to the accounts payable, to the fixed assets. So I will give you a full round 6 months, then come back to me. At the beginning, she was not really happy. And one of the seniors, she came through him, called me. I said, Mohamed, you don't want her? I said, no, believe me. If you are pushing, I will take her. Okay? I send her to the best. He said, listen, Mohamed, it's yours. She came to me crying, I need to be here. He said, do whatever you want. I said, do whatever I want. So I will call now the CFO. He will take her, and he will give me a report on monthly basis to tell me how she's performing. She said 1 month treasury, 1 month. She finished. He called me, the CFO. She said she's ready. I sent her 1 month to procurement. Stay there, see how they are making the orders, how they are dealing with the bids, how everything is there. Did she finish? I sent her 1 month to the HR. See how they appointing, how they're making the meetings. Now it took like 9 months with vacation and stuff, or you can say almost 1 year. She came back to me. I told her, now you are ready. You know exactly what's happening in the kitchen. When you're going to sit and audit the treasury, how it's being done, how is the credit notes, how the transfers, how is the payment, how is the currencies, how is the hedging, everything you were with them on daily basis. But imagine that you are coming, it's like being a referee without playing football. It can be, but you not understand the tricks when somebody falls down and try to convince you that it's a penalty, while it's not a penalty. If you played football, you will know exactly what's going on. If you are just studied theoretically that when in this area the player is falling down, you need to show up and you need to go and check. It's very easy to being tricked, because you weren't there before, So again, if you still have a chance, go and at least 6 months, go to the kitchen. I always name it the kitchen. Go there, understand. So nobody will fool you. You need to be sitting with them on daily basis. Sit, get just a small office, a small chair, sit beside him. Show me what you are doing every day. So 1 week with this employee, another week with this employee, fixed assets, payroll, you know, understand. Jumping to the internal audit, it's tough, okay? So this is, somebody is asking, does someone need to work in traditional accounting? I always recommend somebody need to jump. It's fine, you know. But as I'm telling you, the experience and the exposures, it will be hard, you know. I mean, when you start learning, it will take more time. Why? Because you don't have a solid background, because you did not work with your hands. It's different than you read about. People say that, you know, this is the area that you will find problems. But when you worked in the ledger, you know how the tricks is being manipulated in the ledger, how you make a manual transaction, you do it. This is when you go to audit, please get me the ledger. Please get me the bank reconciliation. Please get me. You know, you were there before. You know where to call. You know where they are hiding, where they are burying the dead bodies. You know, when you are not there, they can take you whenever they want to do, because anything will be fine to you. Let's assume that you don't want to take this track and still you will still insist to go to the internal audit. The only way to go is you start studying for the CIA, okay? Because I need you to take what we are discussing today serious. What do I mean serious? It means many people, when I tell them you need to know the standards, so they go one day, they read, oh, it's 180 pages, it's very boring. I know it's boring. When you go to the PDF, it's very dry, and really, after 2 pages, you feel sleepy and your eyes are closing. I can understand this. This is why today I make this, all of this presentation, all this, to keep you always, you know, attention, you know. So if you find wording, I'm sure 40 of you will be leaving and 40 will be thinking about their dinner, what will be, you know. So this is, I don't want this to reach. So, but when you start studying the CIA, you will be catched. You will be handcuffed. Why? Because you are paying money and you are studying and you need to do something and take something in your hand. So if I told you, you need to read read the standards, you need to read the best practice, you need to read the benchmarking for the market and the best reports issued. You need many things. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure you will do all of this. Maybe you got bored. But when I tell you, tie yourself to the CIA, and even you are coming from accounting, you will suffer a little bit in the terminologies, in the language, in how you study, because you were not there before, you know, and you don't have the experience. They will not let you to be certified without experience. So while you study, you need to be working even with the internal audit. So when you finished the 3 parts, you have the experience, they match, you got certified, okay? So I advise you, okay, to think about the CIA. Why? To make sure that you will take it serious. If you will read only, reading, I don't trust reading. I don't trust you read every day. I don't trust you will put an objective. But studying, I'm paying money, I'm paying for a review course, I'm paying for getting the exam, I'm sure you will start learning. Make sure, if you go there, that you are in the right structure. You need to be independent in fact and in appearance. What does it mean? That sometimes I was offered jobs that I was reporting the CFO, which is the Chief Finance Officer. How can be? Because I didn't find even an internal audit. You know, they want to go public and they want to have IPO, you know, initial public offering. So they need just a shop saying that there is an internal audit here, while actually there is no internal audit. So they need a dummy sitting there saying, oh, he's sitting there. Here is our internal auditor. While you don't know what you are doing. You are just a one-man show, you know, you are making the reports, you are doing the plan, you are doing the strategy, you are doing the charter, you are doing the mandate, you are doing everything, you know. So you are everything, you know, you are issuing the reports, you are discussing. So when you see something like this, run, you know, really. So again, I'm just getting a question regarding CIA qualification. So I will talk to Derek. I will make another session away from this 15 sessions. It will be like 1 hour totally. Just prepare all your questions, you know, and write to me everything, you know, the challenges you are expecting, what is the problems, you know. It will be from me, you know, it's another investing. I have no problem at all. I'm really welcome. But the last point for her, as I'm telling you, really, make sure before you join that you are independent in fact and opinion. What does it mean in fact? Independent in fact that you are reporting to the board, you are reporting to the audit committee, you have a chief audit executive, that it's built properly. Why I'm telling you this? Because you have no experience at all. So your experience is just the place you start working with it. If it's wrong, you'll start building a wrong experience, from the beginning, because this is your first place. So if you started wrong, you will start thinking that this is the right example, So be aware that you are in fact an appearance, and also you are really reporting, you are really independent, everything is right. So make sure, especially you are a fresh graduate, you are in an active internal audit department, you have a chief audit executive, either issuing reports, they have more senior auditors, junior auditors, IT auditors, you have issued reports, they are listened, so you are joining a right culture that will add experience and value to you, plus studying the CIA. I know, Derek, that we are exceeding the time, and I always like to respect the time, but really, it's really enjoying. I need to take 1 million questions. I have no problem for that. But as I'm telling you, please, everybody is attending. We will make another session away from these 15 principles. I have no problem at all. We will discuss, get all the questions, send it to me. I'll prepare it. And it will be like one and a half hour. I don't say 1 hour. I don't like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. Every question will be answered. But everybody write his name behind it. Okay? So I will say it name by name. He will attend, and we will answer all the questions. Okay? Thank you so much. And tell me if you have anything. I'm still online with you.
No, thank you so much, Mr. Sabri. We'll gather those questions, and I'll be in touch with you, so that we agreed to have that 1 hour, 30-minute session.
Sure. My pleasure. My pleasure.
This session has really been insightful. I'll jump now straight into the script. Is there anything that you would like to just mention, Mr. Sabri? Okay. That was over to you, Mr. Sabri.
Because the sound is cutting.
Before I go,
if you just repeat, the sound is cutting.
Okay. I was saying, before I give the closing script, is there anything that you would want to just share with the team?
Nothing. The whole thing I want to say, please, I don't really like that there is any auditor. He is not have really what is the new standards, because really, if you come to interview to me, I can't accept, that because it's released since January 2024, it's effective since January 2025. So at least now it's 2 years. It's effective since 1 year, but really, don't memorize anything. Don't know anything by heart. But I mean, make it blocks. I would share with you, Derek, the map. Always know that which one is this domain. This is the ethics. Are we performing? Are we now governing? Are we in the field? Where are we now? Which one? Under which umbrella? So you don't get mixed up. So don't mix the domains with the principles, with the standards. Always ask yourself, now Derek is talking. Just wait. Derek, I need to track back my map. Where I am. You are telling me now, let's say you are telling me about quality assurance. Where is this quality assurance? Quality assurance, okay, that's domain 3. Oh, no, domain 3, that's a principle 8. Overseen by the board, that's a principle. So you always can track. This is all what I need from you. So you can know where are you from. So this map, during the all next 15 session, keep it with you. This is a gift from me to you. It will be very easy. So always highlight in it, print it, track it, and use it to know where are you now from the full picture. This is all what I have now. The CIA, it's another story, we have another dilemmas. Send the question always to Derek. He will share it with me with the name, You can have like 2 or 3 questions. So I will have a full meeting. You will find your question with your name. I will give you the full answer, and I will share with you the discussion. So please, I hope that, it was not boring one, and everybody really got something out of it. I know it's late time, it's 10:10 with your time. I hope that you got some benefits out of this session, and I'm ready for another session. I'm totally supporting to Derek since he told me the idea. This is non-commercial at all. There is nothing behind it, So we are doing this really for the best of the profession and the best of the people. So now you have the mic, Derek, and you can go for closing.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sabri. Thank you so much for that very insightful presentation, and we'll definitely be agreeing on another date for those questions. Just to close the meeting, I'm sorry to just touch on the key aspect that I got from the presentation. Principle one, demonstrate integrity. It is not the first principle by coincidence. It sits as the first principle because it lays the foundation, as Mr. Sabri had presented in that diagram. It lays the foundation on which all the other principles get to stand on. So from tonight's message, one clear message stands out. Integrity for us as internal auditors defines our credibility. 2, integrity sustains our independence. And 3, integrity strengthens our influence. If principle 1 is lived consistently, the remaining principles just become stronger and more effective. So as we move forward in this series, I encourage each of us to join in the next meetings and get the part of the presentation that Mr. Sabri had provided that links to the 15 principles and the domains in which they sit in, so that there's that clear outline to say this principle that we're discussing, where is it sitting. I would like to thank you, Mr. Sabri, once more. Thank you so much for the presentation, and thank you for having us. And the remaining people, at least just give Mr. Sabri a round of applause before we close the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just follow the LinkedIn. You will find many benefits in the LinkedIn, the one I scanned, and you will find also with Derek. I'm posting every day except Friday and Saturday. Thank you so much. And I wish you a very good evening and enjoy. And I will be joining with you in the next 14 to check what the other instructors. But as I told you, we have privately our own session. Just send to Derek all the questions. He will send it to me. I will be preparing in 2 days and I will be ready. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sabri. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night.